Hello and welcome to this week's Circle Time with me, Miss Rebecca, for Waldorful Days. Let's begin. Fires bright, burning bright, share with us your golden light. We are truthful and helpful and loving in trust. For our hearts in a sun glows brightly in us. We will open our hearts to the sunbeam so bright, and we'll fill all of the world with our heart-given light. Welcome. It's a lovely spring day. Today we have a story about a fat cricket. Before we begin, let's welcome the day with our good mornings. Good morning, dear Earth. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear stone, and the flowers that grow. Good morning, dear bees, and the birds in the trees. Good morning to you, and good morning to me. Okay, let's go and meet the fat cricket and see what he is up to today. In one corner of the meadow lived a fat old cricket who thought a great deal of himself. He had such a big shiny body and a way of chirping so very loudly that nobody could ever forget where he lived. He was a very good sort of cricket, ready to say the most pleasant things to everybody and anybody who would listen. The bees on the flowers go buzz, 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 buzz. The bees in the flowers go buzz, 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 out in the meadow. The ants in the grass go march, 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 march. The ants in the grass go march, 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 out in the meadow. The fat cricket had not always lived in the meadow, and he liked to tell of all the wonderful things he had seen and done when he was younger and lived up near the old white farmhouse. When he told these stories of what he had done, the big crickets and the little crickets loved to hear him talk, and they would often come to the door of his house, which was a hole in the ground, to beg him to tell them more. One fresh spring evening, he said he would teach the little crickets a few things that all little crickets should know. He had them stand in a row, and then he began. With what part of your body do you eat? With our mouths, all the little crickets shouted. With what part of your body do you run and leap? Our legs, they cried. The crickets in the fields go chirp, 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 chirp. The crickets in the fields go chirp, 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 out in the meadow. The spiders in the bushes spin their webs, spin their webs, spin their webs. The spiders in the bushes spin their webs out in the meadow. The fat cricket continued. Do you do anything else with your legs? We clean ourselves with them, said one. We use them and our mouths to make our houses in the ground, said another. Oh, yes, "We hear with our 2 front legs," said one bright little fellow. "That is right," answered the fat old cricket. "Some creatures hear things with things called ears. They grow them out of the sides of their heads. But for my part, I think it is much nicer to hear with one's legs, as we do." "Why, how funny it must be to not hear with one's legs, as we do," cried all the crickets together. "Oh, there are many strange and interesting things to be seen in the great world," said their teacher. "I have seen some really big creatures with only 2 legs and no wings whatsoever." "Ooh, how dreadful!" all the crickets cried. "Who would think that they could move about at all with just 2 legs and no wings?" "Oh yes, it must be very hard to do so." I felt very sorry for them. And he spread out his wings and stretched his 6 legs to show how he enjoyed to move them. The butterflies in the sky, they flit about, flit about, flit about. The butterflies in the sky, they flit about, out in the meadow. The worms in the ground, they wiggle and squirm, wiggle and squirm, wiggle and squirm. The worms in the ground, they wiggle and squirm, out in the meadow. "But how can they sing if they have no wings?" asked the bright little cricket. "Oh, they sing through their mouths," said the teacher, "in much the same ways that birds have to. But I'm sure it must be easier to sing by rubbing one's wings together, as we do." Oh, I could tell you many strange things about these 2-legged creatures and the houses in which they live, and perhaps someday I will. There are other 4-legged creatures around their homes that are very terrible. Some wag their little tails, and the others make a strange purring sound. But, my children, I was never afraid of any of them. For I am truly one of the bravest crickets in the world. I have never been frightened, no matter how terrible the sight. I hope, children, you will always be brave like me. If anything should scare you, do not jump or run away. Stay right where you are and... But the little crickets never heard the rest of what their teacher began to say, for at that minute, Brown Bess, the big fat cow, came through the broken fence towards the spot where the crickets were. The teacher had given one shrill chirp and scrambled down his hole. The little crickets looked at each other, very surprised by his sudden departure. Then, upon realizing that it was only gentle Brown Bess the cow that had frightened the fat old cricket, they knew they need not run away, and they stayed to talk with her about this lovely spring day. Frogs croak, rain soak, chicks beep, crickets leap, bees hum, robins come, birds sing, it's spring. Fires bright, burning bright, thank you for your golden light. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. May the light shine upon you. May love surround you. May the light within you guide you through your day. Have a beautiful day. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.